Cancer season is right around the corner. It's going to be a transformation process. Do not be afraid to feel ugly right now. Do not be afraid to feel iffy. We're shedding some shit right now. Okay? The transformation doesn't belong to Scorpio, you guys. It just doesn't. It does not. Crabs shed their exoskeletons as well. And if you ever watched that process, it's actually like really gross. You're going to be feeling kind of gross going through this Cancer season potentially. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of mini fluctuations. You're entering a mini era this Cancer season. I am really obsessed with the audios on Starcross, and I think that they are going to be so helpful with getting through this chaotic Cancer season and Mercury retrograde. Are based on your sun, moon, and rising sign, so they're very, very personalized. And not only do you get a weekly reading based on the transits that are activating in your chart, but you also get a weekly love reading. All right. Now, Cancer is a cardinal sign, okay? The cardinal signs start the seasons. They bring in the new seasons. And what happens at the beginning of this Cancer season is a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer, right? So with this Mercury retrograde, it is giving you cannot have your cake and eat it too. And some of you might be like, well, then why would I have the damn cake if I can't eat it? I don't make the rules. I don't know what to tell you, right? So this Mercury retrograde is saying we are gaining and we're losing at the exact same time. That is what's happening. Okay. So you're going to have to embrace the ebbs and flows that come with this Mercury retrograde because it's ruled by Cancer. This is a sign that is ruled by the moon. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days, right? So the moon goes through all of the signs over the course of Cancer season. The moon is the fastest moving planet in astrology. Retrograde is going to ask you to do is to stop thinking and start reconnecting with your feelings, reconnecting with your gut. Okay, this is an area that Cancer rules, the gut and the chest, right? And so it's time to pause. And the reason why Mercury retrogrades are so hard is because it directly challenges the way that our society is built, the way that our society functions, which is productivity every single day, day in, day out, grinding and hustling. When in reality, nature, and we are a part of nature, right, which some people try to resist, the more you resist your connection to nature, the shittier you're going to feel. I promise you that. Astrology is a part of nature, and nature moves with seasons. Nature moves in chapters. Nature moves in cycles. Nature moves in ebbs and flows. And Mercury retrogrades are the periods in which things pause, things slow down, and we are forced to start looking back, to revisit, to recalibrate, okay? And to straighten out all the nitty-gritty details. Now, when the Mercury retrograde is happening in the sign of Cancer, which is about our emotional body, these are the things that we are getting all into. We're getting entangled with it. And it's not a linear process. Cancer is not a linear sign, okay? The moon is a very freaky planet. The moon is creepy. The moon is mysterious. The moon is kind of scary. She's glamorous, and the moon does not want you to be close to her. The moon barely lets you take a nice photo with your iPhone camera. You can barely capture the essence of the moon. So how do you think it feels to be ruled by that planet? She's iffy as hell. She's indecisive as hell. If you think Libra's indecisive, then you have not met Cancer, right? Crabs move side to side. We don't know what really... And Cancer is very non-committal. Very, very non-committal. Cancer does not want to commit 100% because we could say yes to that, but we wake up that day and we're like, I'm feeling the opposite now. I'm feeling not up to this. I can't do this. No, it's just not happening. I'm not there. Emotionally, not there. And so that is where this Mercury retrograde is taking you this Cancer season. It's taking you there. It's taking you to hell and back. If you are not connected with your intuition, with your feelings, your emotional body, with your gut, this is going to feel like you're in a haunted house. So I want you to be prepared for this Mercury retrograde by going into it ready to be meditating and ready to go throughout the day dealing with the inner fluctuations. This Cancer season is going to introduce you to a very weird mini era. It's going to be very temporary, and I want you to just embrace the temporariness of it all because there's a lot of freedom in that, okay? But also understand that the same day the Mercury retrograde starts on June 29th, we have the full moon in Capricorn, and we also have Jupiter entering Leo. Cancer season starting off with a fucking bang, all right? So, full moon in Capricorn illuminates our 20-year plan, right? But we're hit with the Mercury retrograde in Cancer. What this is doing is saying, work back from your 20-year plan. Lay it all out. Put it on the vision board. I don't care. Journal it out. Write it down. And then I want you to work back into what that looks like day to day, working towards that. Literally work backwards. If your 20-year plan is, I want to own my own business, what are the things that you can do every single day consistently, the very tiny little things that you can do to shift the gears towards that happening 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever the plan is for you. So that's what the Capricorn Cancer axis looks like. Because Cancer is the mini fluctuations that happen every single day. Capricorn is the long-term commitments that we make. And what we understand is, again, life is cyclical. It is not linear, right? So even if we have these little loops, there's still progress happening. Do not be afraid of the recalibration that this Mercury retrograde calls for you to go through. Do not be afraid to pause, to rest, and to maybe step back and walk some things back. Okay, so even if you said, logically this is what I need to do, but you're feeling pulled in a different direction, trust that other direction. This retrograde is going to have you changing directions. And you have to trust where the strings of fate are pulling you, okay? Because we're going to have Mars in Gemini right when Mercury retrograde happens in stations retrograde. Mars in Gemini is going to be squaring the lunar nodes. And on top of that, axis will be shifting to the Leo Aquarius axis at the end of July. You're going to be forced to release your grudges because Cancer is connected to our memories, our sentimentality, our roots, where we come from, our childhood, deep-seated behaviors. The behaviors that stem from childhood, that stem from our roots, our ancestral memory. This is Cancer, right? This Cancer season is kind of putting a little bit of salt on the wounds that you thought were healed, right? And so understand that there is not just one answer. There is not just one solution, okay? There are many different possibilities. There are many different ways that you can go about it. So really call upon the side of yourself maybe has not been explored yet, the side of yourself that has been kind of underutilized, that is a little bit more flexible, that's a little bit more, able to pivot, okay? You're going to have to call on that side of yourself. Try not to be stubborn through this Mercury retrograde. Try not to be hell-bent on the one answer that you have, attached yourself to. Open yourself up to the other possibilities. And you'll find that this is going to be a very healing, rapid moving